Hello, What Culture? My name is Simon Miller, and you have indeed tuned in to the latest episode of Ups and Downs for Monday Night Raw. Now, some quick housekeeping before we do begin, because this arm ain't going to move throughout the duration of this video, and the reason it's not going to move is because it needs to be in a sling. And if you want more information about that, there's a video on What Culture Wrestling right now, and you go watch that. All the details will be hurled into your face. And if you are questioning, well, where's the sling now, Simon? Well, for 10 minutes a day, I don't have to wear it, so I'm using those 10 minutes right now because one of those like new ass fangled foam things, basically it's really hot. It is really hot to wear, and it's like 100 degrees here in the UK, plus I'm stood under boiling studio lights, so I'm using this 10 minutes not to wear it. That's what I'm doing it with you. Quick side note, for everyone that watched that video I just mentioned and sent me such lovely messages as, ha ha ha, you deserved it, all I'm gonna say is this. Thank you so much, still smiling, I love you too, let's up those damn downs. Raw started this week with Triple H, Vince and Stephanie McMahon coming out and announcing the first ever all-women's WWE pay-per-view. Damn right, getting it up. WWE is actually quite behind the times with all of this when you think about it. This is good that we're now moving in the right direction. I will say it'd be better if on both Raw and SmackDown we actually had segments of importance when it comes to the women, but you know about that, we've talked about that a million times. We won't talk about it here. This is positive stuff, so let's just say woohoo, positivity. It will feature main roster and NXT talent and will also host the finals of this year's Mae Young Classic. That's just good. It's good, ticks all the boxes. Congrats WWE. I think it'll be a good show. And another up for a B team because they cut a promo backstage where they said they used to be rotten, but now they're brothers and they're the best, and that's what the B stands for. And it was really inspirational and motivational. Then they left before coming back as they realized they'd forgotten to bring their tag team titles with them. Don't care what anyone says. I love these two. I love them. That's why it's an up. Then we got Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy taking on the B team for the tag team titles. I don't know, really. It was okay. It was like just there. It kind of existed in the ether and I watched it. Whatever, give it up. It was another fluke win for the B team and eventually WWE's going to have to stop doing that because it will run its course. And the finish here, well, it was just bonkers. But I think Matt Hardy, or Bray Wyatt I should say, fell into Matt Hardy, and because of all of that, Curtis Axel accidentally rolled up the Woken one. And then they won. And I was like, I don't know what's happened. I probably didn't even explain that right. The Revival were shown watching this backstage at one point, so I guess they're going to get involved soon. And also post-match, the Deleter of Worlds beat up Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Maybe we're going to lead into a three-way at SummerSlam, and I'd be all right with that. What I'm not all right with is why aren't we making Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt all crazy because they can't get their titles back? It'd be really fun. It would give them an extra edge. We're not doing it. They're just kind of the same team. That sucks. I will admit, while I enjoyed what was next, I can also appreciate that a lot of people thought it was ridiculous, and given that we've just thrown a load of ups out, we'll give it a down. So down. Finn Balor was backstage with Chad Gable and straight up asked him, why are you in your gear? And what an insult that is. You're asking a pro wrestler why he's in his wrestling gear as if you're not even good enough to do your job. But as Gable said, he's always in his gear because he always wants to be prepared. Good for you, Chad. Good for you. Throughout all of this, some dudes kept walking past the camera and they had Finn Balor's gear. Understandably, Balor was really perturbed by this and he went to try and figure out what was happening. Baron Corbin had told these guys to take it from the locker room and put it in some kid's playhouse. Now this was actually brilliant because Finn seemed really happy to have his own playhouse and he had a big smile on his face like he was a giant kid. So yeah, I thought it was brilliant, but I get it. It didn't help anyone, especially not Chad Gable, who continues to be wasted on the main roster. Then Sasha Banks and Bayley teamed up to beat some jobber team, Somebody Kill Me, down. How the hell has WWE done this again? This is like the 47,922nd time that they've broken up one week, and the next week just gone, meh, who cares, let's be friends again. If this ends with another turn 2, I actually won't have the capacity to care, because how can I? I've got nothing left. It's all gone, it's on the floor, and it's dead. This is madness now too. You do it once, I'm like, okay. You do it twice, I'm like, but how many times has it happened now? I can't even count them. I'm truly gobsmacked by this. Does WWE just forget what they've done in the past? Well, I don't, WWE. I remember. Because as we've said before, I'm a nerd. This is bad all round. I can't believe it. I've said that 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. I cannot believe we've done it again. Why? Braun Strowman promo did follow this though, and I'll give it an up. And I'll also do a side note here to say this was the second time that Elias had come out to try and promote his new album and do his little bit, and the second time he's been interrupted. Poor Elias. Anyway, Braun put over the women's pay-per-view before eventually saying it didn't matter who the Universal Champion was because eventually a monster is gonna come calling. Doesn't sound good at all. It sounds terrifying, and then amazingly, Kevin Owens arrived. He acted all beat up and also like he was a teeny bit scared, but he made a really good point. Strowman can't move on that quickly because that Extreme Rules. Doesn't matter what you saw, Kevin Owens won the damn match. He did. There was also a good line here where Kevin Owens said he was sad because all he wanted from life was to team up with Braun and replicate the success he had at WrestleMania with Nicholas. That gave me a chuckle. And then it got all weird because of course it did. It's Monday Night Raw. Baron Corbin came out on stage and he didn't like what was going on, but he said he knew how to fix it. And apparently that was getting Jinder Mahal and Sunil Singh to get in the ring and do their whole new peace, love, happiness stuff. And what did you think was going to happen? Everybody knew, could see it a mile away. Braun just beat him up. We are, however, going to get Kevin Owens versus Strowman at SummerSlam, and the winner takes home the Money in the Bank briefcase. And that's a definite up because one, that's like a good stipulation, it always works, but two, it's a proper high-end match for Braun Strowman on the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. That's how we do it. Mickie James then defeated Natalya after interference with Alexa Bliss, and as I said at the start of this video, this is the kind of stuff that WWE needs to stop doing. There was nothing here, and you didn't even cheat your women's champion like she meant anything. Just stop doing it. Down. Then Roman Reigns cut a good promo. Up. It was standard stuff, but the last part made me so happy because he sounded properly pissed off and he came at people. He's really good at doing that. In a proper pissed off voice, he said people can complain all they want about him being shoved down their throats, but they've got two choices. They can either accept it or shut the hell up. Top stuff this, Roman, and let's do more of it. Not giving two hoots in the world of pro wrestling always works. Anyway, his point here was that later on he's going to beat Bobby Lashley, and of course he'll go on to SummerSlam and beat Brock Lesnar. A down for all the AOP Titus Worldwide stuff though, it just didn't work. For starters, Elias got interrupted again, which is just insulting at this stage, but also, why are these two teams still going at it every week for however long? I've seen the Authors of Pain beat Titus Worldwide. It's over. It's done. This was more a back and forth talking segment before Titus and Apollo Crews did indeed take out the book writers. I guess it was nice to see them get some offense in, but really, we didn't need any of this. Another down for Mojo Rawley versus Tyler Breeze for the reasons I've now mentioned 3 times. Once again, it was just there, had no direction, and kind of just flew around the place. And there was also a really weird inset promo from Bobby Roode. I mean, it was genuinely awkward, and it felt like it wasn't the take WWE was supposed to use. And I like the fact that Mojo's being pushed, and I don't mind a feud with Bobby Roode, but again, it just felt directionless. Why gets it down. Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler then cut a promo. It was really solid. I like these two. Gets it up. Elias was then interrupted again. Down. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre though, that was really good. And that's getting it up. Of course, the finish came when Dolph Ziggler kept getting involved because he's a dastardly schmerl. And then Seth Rollins came out to make the save because that's what happens. Kurt Angle didn't like any of this and he was mad. So he said, you know what, we're going to have a tag match. And somewhere Teddy Long started smiling because even though it wasn't a 6-way, deep down he knew. The tag was really great too though, so that's getting it up. Drew continues to get better each and every week, but let's just focus on what matters here. The MVP of not only Raw, but maybe the entirety of WWE, that's Seth Rollins. He's a great wrestler, his babyface turn has completely taken, he's accepted. Now he should probably be the guy facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but I don't make the rules, I don't make the decisions. Either way, smash Dolph Ziggler with a curb stomp, which meant everybody could enjoy a lovely babyface victory. Bobby Lashley promo next, and I'll tell you why it wasn't as good as Roman's. He's still very good at making you believe he's gonna whip somebody's ass. Tonight it's gonna be Roman's, gets an up. Then Ember Moon beat Liv Morgan as the never-ending roundabout continues to twirl as I ask myself why, how, where, who, what? I mean, it never ends. What world are we even living in? Why does this keep happening? It's like an ongoing nightmare. Down. Rollins then told us he's getting an IC title shot at SummerSlam, and that's good for 2 reasons. 1, we know those two are very good together, so we can look forward to that, but also 2, WWE's planning SummerSlam really early, and that gives them loads of time to build. I like it. Up. Finally, Elias got to do his show as well, and you already know this. You already know what I'm going to say. It was hilariously brilliant. Getting up. He went to play some new songs off his album, which by the way is actually quite decent, and told us that we should buy 2 copies, one for ourselves and another for the person we're going to be after we've listened to it. Now, I have absolutely no idea what that means, but it made me pop. He then changed his mind and refused to carry on because he realised that he was in Cincinnati. Ain't no way he's playing for the people in Cincinnati. He may do the same shtick every week, but I don't care. It's really good shtick. Elias, I think you've got big things in your future, pal. I look forward to seeing them. And then it was Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns, and they were fighting to become the #1 contender for the Universal Championships. And strap yourselves in, it's about to get bumpy. Now here's the thing, this match was good because the two have great chemistry and they lay their stuff in. It always makes it easier to believe and easier to enjoy and all of that stuff. There was a cool power slam, but also at one point Roman Reigns jumped so high he kind of gave Lashley like I don't even know what you'd call it, like a leg clothesline. I don't think he was going for that, but once again, it looked badass. All of this was an up. But then the obvious happened. Roman Reigns just hit a spear on Lashley. 1, 2, 3. He will indeed fight Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the championship. Now look, on one hand, that's fine. We should just pull the trigger on all of this. We didn't at WrestleMania, and look at the nonsense we had to suffer afterwards. So WWE just go in that direction, and if anything, maybe the fans should actually stay quiet so they don't change their minds again. But on the other, this is so long on the tooth, and it feels like we've been experiencing it for the last 4 years, and that's because we have. And it gets even worse because there were potential rumors that maybe we get a three-way at SummerSlam between Lashley, Reigns, and Lesnar, and I think that would have been more fun. Now we didn't get it, this feels even worse, so yes, that all gets her down. With that aside, I do like Roman Reigns being more of a douche, so I hope WWE continues on with that. Also, they announced that Brock Lesnar will be on next week's Raw, and the crowd all booed. So that was good. The man we're paying millions of dollars to, now everybody hates him, and they don't want to see him back. That was some smart thinking. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. Like, share, and subscribe. Head over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles with those eyes, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter and WhatCulture WWE. Because why the hell not? My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for joining, and also another thank you to everyone who has sent me lovely messages of support and kind words and all of that. It means a lot, and don't even think otherwise. I'll be back. It's just pain leaving the body, whatever they say. I'll rehab this and I'll be back in the ring. Ain't nothing stopping Miller. I'll see you soon.